I'm a hot mess today. Hi there. If you've landed here, you've landed on Let's Talk News, and I am your host, Leticia Remauro, and I am a hot mess indeed. If you've landed here by accident, well, welcome in. And we need you to put your comments in the keyboard. We love keyboard warriors, so make sure that you tell me exactly what you think is going on in the world right now and how you feel about it. If you've been here before, thank you. Today was a tough day for me. Yeah, and this is because my hair is freshly washed and not colored. So this is the best I could do. Hello, Kevin Wall from the other side of the world, but the same side of the issues. And Santillion, aloha to you. I'm so glad that you made it. How are things in Hawaii? Just got back from a lunch with a candidate running in my district, but we'd love to hear that. We need lots of people to run for office, especially Congress. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think the midterms are going to be as difficult for the Republicans and Trump as people say? Okay, I'm back. Holy moly. That was not good. Today's a hot mess. The Democrats don't need a lot of seats to take control of Congress, but we know what they want to do if they do take the seats. Very similar to FDR, right? They want to pack the Supreme Court. They want to impeach Trump endlessly. They will end the filibuster. They will defund ICE and get rid of ICE, open the borders. They have plans, and they've told us what that is. Oh, look, it's Johnny Boy. Trump is leading us into a war and a recession, and you're still cheering. Trump isn't leading us into anything. Hey, Johnny Boy, why? Everybody is saying, especially Elizabeth Warren, how the people don't want this war. Well, the people also want voter ID, but all the Democrats are ignoring it. So you know what? Screw you. Trump is protecting not only America, but the world. And you guys can't see it. We're not in a recession, as a matter of fact. The jobs numbers are great. I have a little vacation rental that I rent out. And during the Biden administration, the last 3 years, we barely had any people coming to rent out the condo. Since Trump has gotten into office, that place has been packed every single month. So people could talk about, the economy, but apparently families think that the economy is good enough to go on vacation under Trump. They didn't think that under Biden. And that's just anecdotal. I mean, that's the only thing that I'm going to use to measure it, because I don't trust the polls, and I certainly don't believe any Democrat, because if their mouth is moving, they're usually lying. Hi, Lucille Chavon. Good to have you. Midterms can be good here, but the office of elections here are screwed. Well, but this is what I say again. Why can the Democrats run around saying, no, Americans don't support this war, we have to end the war? But they don't say boo about 96% of Americans want voter ID, want the Save America Act, but the Democrats refuse to pass it. Why is that okay? It's not. Our mail-in ballots could be invalid. Cross fingers. Well, that would be fantastic. Hi, Gloria. Good to have you. Okay, so tonight's show is titled Strange Times. And they're strange times because the U.S. announced today that a nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia that could enable the kingdom to enrich uranium. So the Trump administration signed a nuclear agreement with Saudi Arabia on Wednesday, which is today, that could enable the kingdom to enrich its own uranium for nuclear reactors, U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright said in a press release. Now, why is this strange? Well, because the Saudi nation, they have been one of those that do not want a nuclear weapon, right? They have been focused on oil and not on creating a nuclear weapon. The ones that are the weapon states are the United States, Russia, UK, France, and China. Now, India, Pakistan, and Israel do have nuclear capability, but it is not, if you will, approved. So what does this mean? And why is it happening now? And why is it strange? Because if Saudi Arabia is looking to have a nuclear weapon, it is to protect itself from Iran. And that Iran and Saudi are enemies. Iran and everybody are enemies. So what we see is, I guess, a burst of strength, or Trump showing strength and conviction and an alliance with Saudi Arabia to basically put Iran in its place. Is it a good thing? I don't love more, nuclear weapons. I think that any time that, we can have so many weapons that we blow ourselves up is probably not a great thing. But when you have crazy people like Iran developing nuclear weapons, you'd be foolish not to protect yourself. Can't get me tonight. I wonder why. Try YouTube, Karen. Go on over and let's talk news. Google my name on YouTube and maybe you can get it there. Hi, Kevin. I have news for everyone. Ben Dyke has a channel, that has a video of Mike Lindell promising illegals amnesty. Mike Lindell has never been my favorite. And if he's promising illegals amnesty, that's really interesting. I wonder how he's going to get that done, because his last I looked, he's not president or anything other than a pillow salesman. Enriched uranium would be controlled by U.S. Yes. 5D chess. Yes, I get it. And that's exactly it. It's 5D chess. But it's strange, right? I mean, who would have had that on their bingo card, that Saudi Arabia would become a nuclear country? Not me. Does it make sense? Yeah. Does it make me uncomfortable? Absolutely. But is it necessary? Yes. And that's, and at the end of the day, that's what this, I'm sure Johnny came and went because I think he's a bot, really. But that's the whole point of this war. Nobody wants it. Nobody ever wants war, except for the people that manufacture ammunition, and guns and bombs and all the things that we use to, play war. But you have to have it. It's like borders. You have to have it. You have to be able to show your strength and your convictions as a country. And Trump is not afraid to do that, even if it's going to tilt the scales away from him right now in the midterms. But I don't know that I really believe that the old thing is going to hold true, that in the midterms, whoever's in power gets, loses control of the House and the Senate. I think that this time things could be different, because what we do know is that people want a parent, and they want their government to be a parent. More and more people, anyway, want their government to act like their parents. And Trump is, he's Daddy Trump. You feel safer with him at the helm. And I wish John would have stayed because I would love to have him tell me he would feel safer with Biden or Kamala at the helm. We know that's not true. It shifts the region that not only Israel can have the possibility. Oh, there you go. I'm glad you were able to get on, Karen. Thanks. Yeah, it does. It does shift the region, and the interesting thing is it's shifting us, and we talked about this last night. It's shifting us away from Europe and more to the Middle East, where we are so different ideologically. We're different religiously. We are different in almost every way than we are with the Western culture, in the Middle East. But we understand something. We all understand the same thing, which is the economy and economics and money and how oil drives money and business. And while the France and the UK and Canada are pretending that men can have babies and that, we can rely on windmills and sunshine and unicorn farts to energize the world, and that we are going to stop energy consumption when everybody from age 70 down walks around with a cell phone in their hand all day long. They can pretend all they want, but I would always want to deal with a country that understands that at the end of the day, it's always the economy. And it just tickles me, right? That everybody, like John, this war and recession, we're going to be in a recession. Oh, really? No, we were. Our economy was in the crapper under Biden, and everybody pretended that it was nothing. And that the Inflation Reduction Act was going to save us, which did nothing but put us further in debt. So does anybody take them seriously anymore? I mean, really? Thank you, Santillion. I don't think anybody takes them seriously anymore, them being the Democrats. WEF is at a loss. They are not in control anymore. They're not. They're absolutely not. And when, they want all, we're going to go to Greenland and we're going to stop Trump from taking over Greenland. Oh, get the fuck out of here. If Trump's got about 1 billion ways to put the Europe to its knees, about 1 billion ways. Oh, here he is. We are in great hands with the Fox News weekend anchor with a history of drinking. Oh, no, sweetheart. Absolutely not. Were we in great hands when we had a man who sleptwalked through his presidency and was basically barely conscious the whole 4 years? No, you can't sell that. That's, you're a bot, and you're feeding us what your cult people, your cult leaders are talking about. Why don't we talk about Iran, John? Why is it okay with you that Iran has a nuclear weapon? How do you think our economy is going to go, John, with open borders? Do you think that it's a good idea for us to kowtow to China? Talk to me, John. Talk to me about the things that we're discussing right now, not just your talking points from your cult leaders. John's a bot. He's not real. But I talk to bots because I love that they keep on jumping on the show. The Democrats, Hasan Piker problem. Yes, absolutely. Oh, thanks, Joe. We have a clip of that. Let's see. Here he is. Here's Hasan Piker. Get a load of his outfit.
No more to Trumpism, but no more to the Democrats who compromise, who conciliate, and who betray us. No more to the fascist reactionaries, but no more to the Democrats who will collaborate and cooperate with the fascists, who will fund ICE, who will fund Israel, who will help poison the planet, who will stiff workers and help bosses. We don't need those Democrats anymore. In fact, we have a message. We are coming. We are unbossed, we're unbought, we're unbound, and we will become undeniable.
Nehru jacket, military uniform. Anybody? CCP-ish? What? Who does he remind you of? This is an interesting. This is an interesting dude, and the Democrats are embracing him with open arms. They are just. Here's somebody who said that Israel deserved October 7th, that America deserved 9/11. He thinks women shouldn't have rights. He is a real interesting character. And now he's telling the Democrats that they have to go. There is a problem with Hasan Piker. Get the fuck out of here. My exact words. Yeah, it's a John. But you know what? Johnny Boy, the more Johnny Boy types and talks and follows, the more my show gets exposure. And as I predicted last night, for those of you who were with me, that show, only 2 people saw it. And the short video that I made after, where usually 1,000 people see it, only 2 or 3 or 4 people saw it. So anytime we talk about our good friend Neville Roy Singham, that happens to the algorithm. It's very interesting how they have these things set up. The mayor is nuts. Yes, he is absolutely nuts. What has he done now, Gloria? Fill us in. He is all DSA. Yeah, and I'm waiting for them to drop the Democratic in front of the Socialists of America, so that their name reflects exactly who they are. They're socialists, but they're worse than socialists. It's a new type of. It's like a fascist socialist. They want to tell us how to eat, how to think, how to use energy, how to live, where to live. They want to control every aspect of your life. They want to control how much money you can make. They want control of all of it, but not for them, just for everybody else. Not for the in crowd. The in crowd gets to buy up the land after they rip it out of the hands of the private owners, by calling them rich and oligarchs. They get to say how much you get to earn. And it's up to them, not up to the boss, not up to your talent, not up to you. It's up to them how much you earn. And they want to make sure that the people that don't give them trouble get everything, but the people who do resist get nothing. That's what they're looking for. Amazing. The one who are running for my district are all Democrats and begging for a lunch date. I'm way too full right now. Oh, go find out who they are. What's going on? I'm of a mindset that meet with everybody, let them talk, get information. I've always been that way. Ma'am Dummy thinks he rules this country and thinks he can arrest anyone who doesn't agree with him. Oh yeah, well yeah, he was trying to figure out how he could arrest Netanyahu when he comes to New York. He can barely do the job of mayor, and he's already practicing for president. But don't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen. AOC is natural born American, so she could be president. Mom Donnie could easily be in the cabinet. And that's what they're setting up for. That's what they're trying for. That's what they want. They want the socialists to run America. Okay, so also happened today, Daniel Syed. Do you guys know who that is? He was a modeling scout, for I forget which company it was, but he's Algerian born, and he's Swedish and French. And he wound up working with Jeffrey Epstein. And his job was to find models for supposedly this new company that Epstein had started in New York. Now, he's based in France. He's 68 years old. And today, mysteriously, he died. Another one that died, another Epstein acquaintance died. He was being investigated because files showed that, an email showed that he was conversing with Epstein about the age of the girls that he was bringing in. I have a clip. It's from RTL. And what they did was they did that auto dub thing where it translates and it changed it does it instead of in text, it does it in voice. It's very annoying, but I'll play it for you so that you could hear him in this interview after being silent, after he was named in the files, after the paperwork was all exposed. He decided all of a sudden to do an interview, and and then he winds up dead. Hold on. Santilli said, I had a nice burger and fries. It cost me shit, but they asked me what the community needs. By the way, I started the Citizens Police Academy in August. I made the cut. Good for you, Santillian. Oh, so my grandson and my dear friend here, Robert Santillian, both going to the academy in August. My grandson's been working in the police department, but he couldn't start the academy until August because he pulled his Achilles heel when he was exercising. So they put him out, and now he's going back in August. So that's great. All right. So anyway, Daniel Siad. It's a little bit annoying. It's like a kung fu movie, but see if you can get through it. But listen to what he has to say.
I never paid for the ticket.
Okay, I'm sure she didn't have a goatee. That's why I don't like that auto translator. But anyway, this was a recent interview just before he died. He was a child trafficker, Santillian. But now here's the thing. Who's killing them? Okay, we know that Epstein hung himself in his jail cell, but also there are over 20 other people connected to him that have died. Jean-Luc Brunel was the French modeling agent accused of procuring girls for Epstein and facing rape trafficking charges in France. He was arrested in 2020 and found hanged in his Paris prison cell on February 19, 2022. Official ruling suicide. Syed, July 20th, 2026. They're saying he died possibly of a heart attack linked to the stress from the ongoing inquiries. Possible. Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell's father, right? The media mogul. He wound up overboard in his yacht called the Ghislaine, and he drowned. So interesting. Virginia Giuffre, she's the one that accused Prince Andrew of molesting her, and she won money and notoriety, and she was the kind of the face of the Epstein files. She committed suicide at age 41. She had 2 children. The authorities said it was non-suspicious. Bullshit. Others were Alfredo Rodriguez, Marvin Minsky, and they, all in all, there was over 20 people who were connected to Jeffrey Epstein in the files that wound up dead. I just can't. And I've always said it, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just can't believe that all these people wound up dead by coincidence. Do I think some people did off themselves because of the scandal? Sure. But I think that the ones that were going to talk, were going to testify, those are the ones that I just don't understand how they weren't protected, how we didn't get more information out of them. Like this Siad guy. He could have cut a deal, right? He could have cut a deal to tell everything, but he didn't. So, could it be the global elites at work here? I mean, what do you think? Santillian says he pops up in our human trafficking ring we have on files here in Hawaii. Well, he's not going to be popping up anymore because he's la muerte. Another one. Yeah, something just doesn't feel right, especially with Giuffre. Giuffre was the one that really makes no sense to me. She had everything, right? She stood her ground. She was the one who exposed everything. And then she won a monetary award. And, Andrew didn't admit guilt, but he paid her for the molestation. Why? Why would you not enjoy the money and your family? And I mean, her life would never be quiet again. But, when she came forward, she knew that. So what happened? What is going on with these associates of Jeffrey Epstein or people involved in the Epstein files? My theory is that there is the people with the money, and we know, right? We've gone through this on this show, that it was Robert Maxwell, who was a con man, and he got in good with the royals, and he was the one who set up that Ponzi scheme, and that's why Epstein started dating Ghislaine. He didn't date Ghislaine. Started courting Ghislaine and getting her to work with him. Why she did it is beyond me. Maybe she was trying to amass her own fortune, but her job was to introduce Epstein to people who would invest money with him. Everybody wants to talk about the sex scandals with Epstein. Epstein's not about sex. It's about money and power. It was about getting close enough to powerful, moneyed people to put them in compromising positions to get the dirt on them so that Jeffrey Epstein, could get rich. And that's what he and Ghislaine were doing. And the money is still out there. It's out there with his real girlfriend. And we've said it before here. That money should be going to the victims. All of it. Let them split it. It's something like $150 million or maybe even more than that. Maybe $500 million. Confiscate it, split it. Let's see. CIA ops. Yeah, Scott, you're right. That could very well be. It's not about little modeling scouts in France. Certainly not that. Or, 15-year-olds. It's not about that. It's other stuff. And it's far bigger than this. Because, if it's just sleeping with minors, I mean, and when we're talking about minors, the Epstein harem, if you will, they 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. Yes, young. But I was married at 17, 2 children by 19. So, you got to keep it in perspective. They're youngsters, absolutely. But they're teenagers. They're young teenagers, and we know teenagers to be mischievous. It's not like they're 8-year-olds or 4-year-olds, and there has been no. I'm not defending anybody, but there's been no evidence of, very, very young children involved in this. It was teenagers, and mostly teenage girls. But at any rate, it was about the money. It was about the money. It was about the power, and it was about Epstein getting information so that he could play on the world stage. Why? To what end? I think it was always to the end that he get rich, but he was involved with many leaders of many countries. Looks like someone with money is trying to clean up another mess. Yeah, well, that's it. That's why I believe that, Scott's right. I mean, CIA ops. Yeah, I mean, why? How did Epstein get all tangled up in this? Maxwell, but he's a con man. I mean, remember, Epstein was born to, his father was a Parks Department's worker and his mother worked in the school part-time. So he was, a poor Jewish kid from Brooklyn. And then all of a sudden, he became Mr. It. And started becoming an investor. No formal education. He was a teacher at a private school, but no real formal education. They all drank the Kool-Aid and Andrea Chrome. I'm not sure what Andrea Chrome means. And Ray Chrome? Please, we all know this is just one more example of the powerful doing what they want and stopping the people from naming names that just can't be named. Anyone who thinks otherwise is either blind or a liar. Good point, Sal. The stuff I saw on Signal chat 6 years ago makes my stomach upset, as it should, as it should. But I'm going to say it again. This was about money and putting powerful people into compromising positions for power and money. And I'm not certain that everything that you saw in Signal was bona fide, but maybe, just because just because they say it was a file doesn't mean it was the actual file. You know what I mean? So, at any rate, that's it. Strange times we live in. The Saudis with the nuclear weapon power play. Power play with Trump. All right. I will see you tomorrow, and we will discuss more of the news that mainstream media isn't talking about. Hope you all have a great evening, and Santillion, you keep on collecting those candidates, and let's see who's the best one. Congratulations on making the cut in the Academy. Thank you all for being with me tonight, and all the nights that you are with me. I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Remember, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It's free to you, but it makes a world of difference to me. We're stuck at 885. We need to get to that 1,000. Yeah, let the DOJ handle it. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, love you all. Bye-bye.